Hello everyone, welcome to Group 2. We want to talk about behavioral aspect of performance evaluation and decentralization. The members are Adimavida Rizwan, Haryandi, and Novegia Verdini. The first one, I want to talk about definition and purpose of performance evaluation. Performance evaluation is the periodic assessment of the operational effectiveness of an organization, its subunits, and its personnel in light of predetermined goals, standards, and criteria. Since organizations are run by people, performance evaluation is in reality the evaluation of people's behavior in the roles assigned to them in the organization. And we know the primary purpose of performance evaluation is to motivate employees to attain organizational goals and to comply with predetermined behavior standards to produce desired action and outcomes. The behavior standards could be prescribed managerial policies or formal plans for desired integrated action, like budgets, profit plans, or standard costs. Second is about use of performance evaluation. The greatest benefits are realized when they are used for the following purpose. First one is to manage the operation of the organization effectively by maximizing employee motivation. Second, to assist in personal decisions such as promotion, transfers, and termination. Third is to identify specific training and development needs and to provide criteria for selection and evaluation of training programs. Fourth is to provide feedback to employees about how superiors perceive their performance. And fifth, to provide a basis for reward allocation. As you know, performance evaluation affects every component of management responsibility. A true understanding of the behavioral aspect of the vital task is therefore necessary for its effective deployment. The third is about motivation as a tool for promoting operational efficiency. Motivation is concerned with what induces people to behave in particular ways. Motivation researchers have delineated hierarchy of needs, type of motivators, and motivation hygiene factors. Expectancy theory is one of the best predictors of motivation and performance. According to this theory, behavior is influenced by probabilities people assign to the following relationship. The first one is the effort necessary to achieve the goal. Intrinsic motivation, or the pleasure people associate with the content of a job or task, is stimulated when the task is perceived as challenging but not overwhelming. Second is performance and reward. The rewards could be in the form of raises, bonus, profit sharing, stock option, praise, or just in experience in the pleasure of accomplishment. Third is reward satisfying personal goals. Since different employees have different goals priorities, uniform reward system don't always motivate equally well. To achieve optimum motivation, reward should be tailored to the needs of each individual. The fourth is effect of rewards on behavior. There are three ways to shape the behavior of the people who work in organization. The first one is the response to desirable behavior can be met something pleasant. This behavioral influence is called positive reinforcement. Second is desirable behavior can be induced by the elimination of something unpleasant. This is called negative reinforcement. And the third is punishment. Punishment is a common remedy for undesirable behavior. The fifth is types of rewards and their benefits in functional behavior inducement and reinforcement. Rewards can be grouped into two. The first one is intrinsic. Intrinsic is personally satisfying feelings that people experience for job well done and for goals attained. Intrinsic rewards can be enhanced by techniques such as job enrichment, increased responsibility, participation in decision making, and other efforts that can lead to increase the people's self-worth and drive to excel. And also there is extrinsic, include direct, indirect, and non-financial compensation given to employees. We know that direct compensation are payment for basic wages or salaries, overtime and holiday pay, profit sharing, stock option, and other types of performance-based bonus. And indirects provide employee with fringe benefits like insurance, vacation pay, sick leave, pension plans, and other benefits. And for the non-financial rewards include like desirable extras such as preferred office location, elaborate office furniture, assigned parking space, and etc.
Okay, next is behavioral aspect by performance evaluation step. The following steps are used to measure and evaluate performance. Each step has behavioral implications. There are 6 steps in total, but the first 3 steps in grouping to preliminary and the rest to performance evaluation step. Okay, let's see the preliminary steps. Preliminary steps. First, define the segment and activities. First, we need to define the segments and activities to be controlled and the individual associated with them. People are to be held accountable for their performance. Their responsibilities first have to be clearly defined. So, organizers need to clear the demarcation line for responsibilities. Second, set performance criteria. We need to define policies, goals, and standards for each organizational segments and activity. And top management need to ensure that there is goal congruence between individual and organizational goals. Third is measure actual performance. Next step is to measure the actual segment or activities. It is important part since it's repetitious and routine activity. But some undesired behavior occur in order to manipulate the actual performance, such as smoothing, biasing, gaming, focusing and other illegal act. And then let's see the performance evaluation step. The fourth is compare actual performance with predetermined goals. The comparison of actual and expected performance is done through periodic performance report. Promptly result to individuals responsible for segments and activities. Fifth, determine operational and behavioral causes of unfavorable variance. And the sixth is reinforce desired behavior and accurate the undesired behavior. Last step is to correct our performance in order to improve the undesired behavior so we can come up with the better behavior. And then the next is behavioral aspect of performance evaluating using accounting information. Firm use accounting information or in conjunction with other information as the basis of evaluating segment and subordinate performance. The reason for this are that accounting data are hard or objective rather than soft or subjective. They are one of the few objective measures of performance available. People may react unfavorably to the performance data supplied by accounting system for a number of the reasons. The reasons such as uncorresponding relationship of organizational structure to the financial reporting structure, degree of participation in standard setting and report performance are considered weak. And the third is level of understanding of accounting system. Okay, next is the meaning of decentralization. Now we jump to the chapter 12. We will try to discuss what is decentralization. Here we will discuss decentralization in business context. Refers to definition by H.A. Simon. An administrative organization is centralized to the extent that decisions are made at a relatively high level in organization. Decentralization to the extent that decisions are delegate by top management to lower level management. But even the definition is clearly straightforward, but still there are so many problems in implementing it. Here are some problematic of this decentralization. There are difficulty to identify the particular hierarchy level at which decision is made. Then, what is the kind of the decision should be decentralized? And even AD Chandler said strategic decisions are centralized and operational decisions are decentralized, but still there are problems in implementing the decentralization. So it may be useful to focus on what an organization wants to accomplish through decentralization. Then, according to these chapters, employs a behavioral definition of decentralization as a system that encourages various managers in hierarchy to think and act independently while being a part of a team. And the next is environment as determination of decentralization. This section examine the antecedents condition that create the need for the kinds of managerial behavior described by Fensel. Only by understanding why such behavior are needed, it is possible to understand the need of decentralization. A typical discussion for the reason for decentralization will include following. First, decentralization frees top management to focus on long-range strategic decisions, and then it's allow organization to respond quickly and effectively to problem. And next is a centralized system is unable to handle all the complex information needed to make optimal decision. Fourth is it provided a good training ground for future top management. And the fifth is it fulfilled the need for autonomy and is thus powerful motivational tool for manager.
Well, now we are going to talk about choosing a structure. The choice of a suitable decentralized structure requires two core decisions. First, how to divide tasks and what accountability system should be applied. An additional complication of dividing tasks or decisions in most large organizations is the geographic distribution of the units. Geography adds to coordination problem, especially when this unit cross state boundaries. Companies must now be organized by region, with each region having a further functional organization or product. In such situation, the organization is faced with a difficult choice between duplicating its product division in all regions or using geographic division for all of its products. Next, talking about planning for resource accountability. The second step in selecting structure is planning a system that is suitable for accountability of resource in various functional subunits, products, or regions. Typically, a resource accountability structure follows the logic of the physical distribution of activities and decisions reached by the creation of subunits. The four types of resource accounting units known in the literature consist of cost center, revenue center, profit center, and investment center. There are some things that need to be attention in developing the basic budget, such as first, delegating activities. In theory, a fully decentralized system would delegate all separable activities to subunits with little or no role for central management. And then, establish behavior norms. The most important behavioral norms are socialization, specialization, standardization, and formalization. Third, classification of relationship between units. A good standard also provides the ground rules for managing inter-unit exchange. This exchange is necessary when the subunits depend on each other for input or output. Fourth, collaborative versus competitive approach. Do you know what is the differences between collaborative and competitive approach? A competitive approach relies on market mechanism and substitutes a fictitious internal market with an external market, while a collaborative approach emphasizes organizational membership and encourages individuals to work as a team using appropriate roles, rewards, and values. Also, we need to consider factors affecting choice, such as availability of external market, strategic interdependence, incompleteness of price, exit options are available, and then decentralization and transfer pricing determinant. Transfer pricing supports and encourages certain types of behavior in the organization, and also types of transfer rates, which is consists of market price, price plus cost, variable cost, price are negotiable, and price are decided upon or ordered. And the last is about transfer price and decentralized status. This section states that a major element of decentralization is the need to develop an appropriate constitution, such as states should decide which activities and decisions will be made by headquarters and which will be delegated to individual units. And the last topic we will discuss for today is measuring and evaluating performance. The attributes of the performance measures are likely to lead to goal alignment that are controllability, completeness, and separation of activities and managerial evaluation. Incontrollability is considered desirable because controllability removes aspects of performance that a manager cannot control from measurement. Talking about completeness, it refers to the degree to which a measure can cover all relevant performance dimensions, and the last is separation of activities and managerial evaluation. In separation of activities and managerial evaluation, it designed to differentiate the economic attractiveness of an activity by the way it is managed. So that's all our presentation for today. Thanks for your attention and see you next time. Thank you.